Yeah. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Recording this the Sunday morning after the Baltimore Ravens clinched a berth, or punched their ticket, I should say, to the AFC Championship game in Baltimore a week from today, taking on the winner, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs. And this was the first time since I've been out here in South Florida, in West Palm Beach more specifically, that I found a actual Baltimore Ravens sports bar that supports the Baltimore Ravens. It's the first time really felt at home. When I say really felt at home, really felt like I was back the DMV. I'm riding through Baltimore, going through a Ravens game. Again, I grew up a diehard Redskins fan, diehard Commanders fan, now Commanders, but Ray Lewis was my guy. So, I got to witness 2 Super Bowls. I got to witness the city come together pretty much surrounding this specific franchise, and more specifically, this player in Ray Lewis. And he inspired the entire DMV. He was the Mr. Linebacker. He put the position that I played, that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Ray Lewis is the catalyst. Ray Lewis is the face of that position. I don't care what no one says. He's the greatest player to have ever played the game of football, the history of the NFL. It's Mr. Ray Lewis, in my opinion, my personal opinion. Now, seeing that I was around so much DMV pride, seeing that I was around, so much Baltimore Raven pride, got to talk to you guys today about the first trip, my first ever Ravens game. It was actually when I was a freshman in high school, and this was the year that was really, really difficult for me, man. I was going through it. My grades sucked. I had to go to summer school to get eligible to play. It was a really rough transition because I went from public school to private school. It was a culture shock like a motherfucker. And my dad wanted to actually strangle me. Like if it was allowed, if it was within the laws, he probably would have strangled me and had me sleeping outside. That's how upset and disappointed he was in me in terms of how my grades were turning out, like the huge drop off that I took from my 8th grade middle school life all the way to high school. Things were just not looking good at all that freshman year in high school. It was rough. All right. So that year, the Baltimore Ravens actually made the playoffs, and they hosted a home wild card game in Baltimore, and they played the Tennessee Titans. And my father and I went to the game, and of course, going to games with him, you never actually buy the damn tickets before the game. He decides to do things his way and decides he's gonna buy the tickets when we get to the game from scalpers and shit like that. Again, something that I don't really feel like, if I get on that topic, I'll go on a tangent, so we won't even touch on that. But anyway, that's what we did. So we get to the game, and this is the playoff game, so the prices for these tickets are pretty high. And luckily we get some good seats. We actually do get some good seats right in the first section. But the problem was one of the seats were in the front row, and then the other seats, they had 2 tickets. The scalper had 2 tickets. One of them were in the front row, and then the other one was all the way up top, right? So, we get there, and there's only 1 ticket below, and my dad, again, graciously he knew, this is my boy, it's Ray Lewis, man, this is my boy. I just saw him win a Super Bowl in 2000, he put the position on the map, so he let me go in the front row, and then he took the ticket, and instead of him actually going all the way up top to M&T Bank Stadium, he just stayed outside and watched the game pretty much from the TVs and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's myself as a freshman, as a 14-year-old kid, watching the game with total strangers. I didn't know anyone. Again, my dad was in the back. Baltimore actually ended up losing that game, but it was a really close game. And I'm watching this game with total strangers, and it's like a one-on-one with me and Ray Lewis, because at this time, I'm a freshman. I'm trying out for my JV team and looking to play linebacker at good counsel and all that. I was really trying to establish myself and, build an identity and things like that. It was a real we'll say it was a really critical time in my development, because I could have I could have gotten kicked out of school because my grades were so bad. Things could have gotten really bad, could have failed at good counsel. And I always look at that event. I always look at that Baltimore Ravens game and say that was the event that really got me kind of back on the right track, seeing what I could become, seeing what Ray Lewis did, seeing the performance, more so. Again, they lost the game, but it was more so about how he controlled the crowd. One flick of the wrist, the entire place went absolutely absolutely nuts with those 52 jerseys on. I'm telling you right now, it was an incredible experience. And this is kind of what it boils down to is whenever you have an audience, all right, whenever you're out there performing, doing what you're great at, just out there doing what you're great at, whether, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be just a professional athlete, but whatever it is you're great at, whether you're a great lawyer, great nurse, great doctor, whatever it is, great public speaker like myself, it's important that you change lives, that you understand when people are watching you, when you're in front of the camera, when you have eyeballs on you, you never know the kind of lives that you're going to be changing just by doing what you do. Again, I was going through it that freshman year in high school, went to a Ravens game, went to that playoff game, and my life changed. I got back on the right track, ended up being a captain for my JV team that year, went on to be a captain my senior year, voted captain twice, and first team WCAC linebacker, class of 07, all right? And I blame that event. I used to wear a Ray Lewis jersey underneath my pads every single game. That's how special these things are. That's how near and dear they are to my heart. I mean, that was actually, if not mistaken, that was actually the one and only Ravens game. I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland, one and only Ravens game I went to. Like I said, I was big Redskins guy, so if I had my choice, I'd be at FedEx Field or RFK Stadium and all that kind of stuff, right? Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's makeyoumove.com. So check out D1 Transfer. Pre-order a copy of the book titled Transferring D1, in which we are helping navigate the chaotic world of college athletics. Again, first website, makeyoumove.com. Second one, d1transfer.com. Everything I got out there. It's a one-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.